Oh, welcome to Cover 2 TV. It's the prediction show. It's the big one, boys. The season starts in not very long, and we are here to pick our divisional winners, our wildcard entrants, our NFC and AFC Championship game winners, and the Super Bowl winners, and Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, you name it. We're predicting it right here today. Let's get into it. AFC East. JENNO, where do we go?
Can we just skip? It's the Patriots. I mean, do we even really need to do this?
Yes, we do, because this is the format of the fucking show.
I know, but like we got two teams in the AFC East who are clearly tanking. I mean, the Bills have literally started releasing everyone, trading everyone
They've just
away.
traded a player away. They traded up 4 into the second round and just traded him away for a 4th round pick. That's what they've just done. They've given everyone away. Yes, the Patriots done. There's only 2 teams in that division trying to win.
All right, okay, yeah, it's the Dolphins and the Patriots are the only 2 teams trying to win. So there you go. You've got 1 and 2, and it's Patriots and then Dolphins. Yeah, we're all happy with that. Yeah. Does anyone here think that the Dolphins are going to win enough games to be a wild card entry? Steve?
Yes.
Yes.
One of my wild cards.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've got to make just because I think they've got 4 easy wins in the division straight away. I think they tend to split with the Patriots. Miami on thereabouts.
It's only because they played like last game
exactly.
of the season.
So I think they've got 5. I think they're a good team. I think Cutler doesn't make them better, but he doesn't make them worse. Not many teams can lose a quarterback and not be affected by it. I think they've got in the best option they could have got in terms when Tannehill went down. They got Cutler was the best option out there in terms of what they could have got for at that time. So. Yeah, I've got the Dolphins as one of my wild cards. Don't know what you guys.
Yeah, well, I would actually disagree. I don't think I disagree with this. I think Cutler is better than Tannehill, and I've said it on all the update shows that I've done that I believe he's better. And I think we're going to see a big season from Devontae Parker because Cutler will actually try and throw it to him. Yeah. Whereas Tannehill just would only go to Landry because it was the short yard.
He'd love to dump off the Jarvis Landry. Yeah, yeah. I've got. I don't know if have you not got.
No.
And you haven't?
No, I haven't. No.
There's one difference already. Yeah, I like Miami. I think they've got solid offensive line, good run. I believe in that JJ is good. Yeah. I don't think he's a flash in the pan. Decent quarterback. Defensively, they're iffy. They're not great, but I think their defensive game is going to be time, run JJ and keep hold the ball. I like the weapons they've got. I think Kenny Stills on the rate. I like Jarvis Landry and I like Devontae Parker. So the AFC isn't that strong either. It's quite a weak division, and where it is strong, those teams are all going to beat each other. So say for example in the West, they're all going to beat each other. And maybe in the North, you've got 2 or 3 teams who could beat each other. I think that having to play the Jets and the Bills twice gives that.
Feels like he's on the defensive already. We only asked him a question and he's backed it up big time. He's like, no. It's going to be the Dolphins, and this is going to be the reason why. They're a 9-7, 8-8, 7-9 kind of team.
Yeah, and I think 9-7, 10-6 is going to get you a wild card, isn't it? I think so. Yeah, I've gone Dolphins.
Okay. AFC West, then Steve, will lead off with you, mate. First and foremost. Well, we've got the Raiders, we've got the Broncos. I think they're the 2 well, actually, there's 3 standout teams, isn't there? You got the Chiefs who won it last season as well.
And the Chargers aren't bad.
Yeah.
I've gone. I might regret saying this already, but I've gone Chargers. The Raiders' defense terrifies me. I think it's absolute garbage. I think it's really, really poor. I think the linebackers are iffy. They're trying to run the Seattle scheme without linebackers, which is crazy. There's a reason why Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright are playing for Seattle and getting all the money that they should get because it's so important for that scheme. I think unless Derek Carr and listen, don't get me wrong, I think he's really good. I think they've got some good pieces, but I think they might have to win a lot of games, 35-30 or something like that. And that only gets you so far. There's only about 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the league who you can constantly rely on to do that. One of them plays for my team. I don't know if Derek Carr's there yet, so I've gone Chargers.
Okay, well let's leave it there for now. JENNO, let's see your number 1.
I've went Raiders. I'm buying into Derek Carr. I like their offense. I like their Mari Cooper, Michael Crabtree wide receiving core. I think it's going to be the Raiders. I'm not going to say too much on the Chargers because I've got them as a wild card. Okay. So I'm also massively high on them, but I'm going the Raiders actually win the division.
I agree with JENNO. I'm going Raiders as well. I think Lynch being back there as well gives them that running threat as well opposite the Cooper and the Crabtree stuff. So I like the balance of that offense particularly. It all comes down to Carr and whether he comes back from that injury really well and stuff. But okay, interesting then that we've gone one team. You've got another again. You're on the defensive. Who's your second team in this division?
Raiders. As a wild card as well. I've only given my 2 wild cards already, haven't I? But yeah, I've gone Raiders my wild card, and again, I think they might win 9-10 games. I think the Chargers defense has got enough to carry them a long way. I think if you've got a pass rush, which they definitely have, a good secondary, you've got the franchise quarterback, you've got the receivers, you've got the running back. They've got everything that they need, really. The only issue with Los Angeles, not San Diego anymore, is they're just always injured. No matter what happens, someone's hurt, someone's got a bad back, someone's out for a year, Keenan Allen always goes down. If they can stay healthy, which is huge, I think they've got the most balanced roster in that division.
So why have you not gone for the Chiefs who won it last year? Like, what's your thing that why you haven't went for them?
The offense for me, I don't believe that they've done enough. I think losing Jerry Maclin was a strange move. I think Tyreek Hill's really good. Alex Smith, again, he's Alex Smith. It's just hard to motivate you and stuff. And what I would say is Andy Reid tends to get his teams to the playoffs, so it is a big call to not back the Chiefs. But I just feel a bit uninspired by them, and I think that there's two hotter teams than them. The Chiefs will probably be 8-8 there or thereabouts because they always are. I just prefer the other two teams.
Yeah, I must admit, like it was a toss-up for me who I think will finish second in the division, and I actually think the Chargers will finish last in the division, if I'm honest with you. I think, for me it was between the Broncos and the Chiefs and stuff, so I've gone the Broncos because of the defence. I think, that can be legit again, just as good as it was last year, even, as good as it was the year before and stuff, so I picked them to go second and get a wild card berth.
Yeah.
So we're all picking two teams from the AFC West then, yeah?
Which again, it's a tough division, but out of you'd expect them maybe to lose against each other and maybe beat everyone else. That's the plan. That's what I've got.
Who did you have for second, sorry?
I had the Chargers, so I think the Raiders will go 12-4, 11-5, and I think the Chargers will go 10-6, and the others will be 8-8, maybe 7-9 Broncos, because I don't trust their offense. And if CJ Anderson goes down, who runs the ball?
Yeah, I had both of them 10-6, and the way I worked out on the predictor was obviously the tiebreakers must fill in the Chargers, so that's our man with it. It's going to be really fun division to watch.
Yeah, okay, so we'll move on then. AFC North, we've got the Ravens, the Bengals, the Browns and the Steelers. Go on, Steve, you go first.
Yeah, Steelers, I don't think it's even close, to be honest. Again, the Ravens are so injured. The Browns improved, not there yet. Bengals are decent, I think. Bengals might be good again. I think they're going to be in the hunt for the wild cards at the end of the season and just miss out. But the Steelers are almost the best team in the division. For me, they're the second best team in the division. I don't think the gap is that big that others do to the Patriots. I think it's 1A, 1B. It's just that when they play each other, Tom Brady tends to tear the Steelers apart, but more on that later when I contradict myself. I just think both sides of the ball are complete. They've got the offense is ridiculous. Line, quarterback, running back, receivers, decent tight end. Then you look defensively and young players stepping up, and then the experience like the likes of James Harrison. I think they're a really good team. And this is their time now. This is where all them draft picks and all that developing and stuff at it peaks, and this is their time now. The window's open for a couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that.
I've also went with the Steelers. I'm totally with you. I think it's going to be a clear them. They may even get, I won't say the 2 seed in the AFC, because again, we all know where I think the number 1 seed will go. I believe in them. I just don't believe in their cornerback play. That's the only thing I think is a letdown. And that's why I think they'll get there. I can't see. I think both, even though the Ravens defense I think is going to be number 1 in the league. I'm really high on it. I don't think their offense is going to be able to carry anything, and I don't like the Bengals' offensive line play to believe them. And if anyone's picking the Browns, I mean, fair play to you. Fair play to you.
That's the ballsy move. That's the ballsy move.
No, look, for me it's Ravens second. I think you'd probably disagree with that, the pair of you, and then Bengals third, and then
Have you got Ravens as a wild card? Or?
I haven't got them.
No, that's all I had it as well. Ravens second. I was very close to giving them a wild card. And I went no.
Yeah, I was nowhere near them.
They were the third. I said to these before. I was like, when I first did it, I gave myself 3 options for the wild cards, and so it was the Titans, the Broncos, and the Ravens, and then I had to just cut out the Ravens because it just messed everything else up, obviously.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of average teams, I think. Yeah. There's a couple of standout good teams and lots of average, and those average teams are all going to be. Yeah. You can see them. I wouldn't be surprised, for example, if the Bengals went 10-6, but I wouldn't be surprised if they went 6-10. That's what I'm with. That's where I'm with the Bengals. It's so fine. There's so many teams that are
across the whole AFC, to be honest with you. There's so many teams that, we said it earlier on, 7-9, 9-7.
Flip a coin. It's a bounce of a ball, a kick of a field goal.
It's weird when you look at the AFC, right? It's usually just the same contenders over and over and over again, like the same 3 or 4 teams, and then those wildcard spots are up for grabs. and then usually just get smashed by the Patriots or the Steelers in the playoffs. Because that's the weird thing, whereas I think the NFC, that's the division where you get the surprise teams, like no one saw the Falcons or the Carolina going through. So I think the AFC is very top heavy, whereas the NFC is the wide open division, so it might be a little bit more fun to talk about.
Yeah. Okay, well, before we do go and talk about the fun stuff, we do have to talk about the AFC South. So we will go through that one first. You got Texans, you got the Colts, you got the Jaguars, you got the Titans. I think I know Jenno's going to pick to go out on top here, but let's ask the man himself.
I've got the Texans.
Oh, right, okay. I'm shocked at that. I really thought you'd have the Titans.
I was very close to putting the Titans,
card,
and the Titans are the wild card. I always took the Titans out and thought, no, they'll do crap this year and it'll be next year with Josh McDaniels, but now put them in the wild card. But I guess the Texans, because I think Clowney and Watt, I think is going to win them enough games individually for them to just about scrape through with like a 10-6 record.
That'll be the worst winning record out of those divisions, I think, the Texans.
Yeah.
I really struggled. If anyone remembers, probably don't watch it, you remember, when we done the draft preview afterwards, I said Colts.
You're kidding me.
At the time, no, okay, then you might know. I remember, at the time, I've backed off that now. Andrew Luck's still injured, he's not playing. I've lived the Scott Tolzien life, and you don't want to live the Scott Tolzien life, and that's the truth. So I'm backing off that. Even if he plays week 1, he's not going to be himself, he's not going to be right.
Yeah.
And it was really difficult for me between Houston and Tennessee. And I've gone for Tennessee just. And again, it's a flip of a coin, it really is. And I think it's going to be more around the 9-7 mark, which means whoever comes second even misses out on a wild card. I think it's going to be, whoever comes second might be 8-8. The Jags, until they find me a quarterback, I'm not buying it. They've got everything else, but I'm not having it. I'm not having Blake Bortles or Chad Henne in my life. I'm not even considering them doing anything. I like Marcus Mariota a lot. I really like. I think he's really, really, really special. Just needs to stay fit, which is the issue. But they've done what you should do. When you draft your quarterback second overall, you build your team around him. Went and got him some big offensive linemen, and then this summer they went and got him as weapons. So they protected him and they've got him someone to throw to. They've got him 2 stud running backs, good defensively as well. I think Titans at 9-7, Houston 8-8. So
can I make a bit of
I give them a couple more wins each. I give them both around about the 10-6.
So you've got them wild card.
So I've got the second place team as the Titans as the wild card, Texans to win the division. Then I've gone Colts and then Jags.
Yeah. So what was I going to say?
Was it Houston related? Or was
no,
it
I was
Jags?
Going to say the Titans, but yeah, it's gone anyway. Let's just move on. Let's move on. Sorry.
Okay, so Jenno clearly didn't want to talk about the AFC North. Much more interested and stuff, so we'll get straight onto that then. We'll start with the NFC East. I wonder if there's going to be some surprise packages in this one. So you've got in alphabetical order, because I realised that I started reading mine out in just the order that I'd put them down. I was like, no, I'm going to get them in alphabetical order. And we've got the Cowboys, the Giants, the Eagles, and the Redskins. Anyone disagree with that order, actually?
I have got the Giants winning this division. So yeah, I'm disagreeing with that order.
Okay, have you got?
I've got the Giants also winning this division, and I said it, I predicted it, and then looked at it and went, I think Eli's going to have a bad year, so that doesn't make any sense. But that's where we are.
Okay, and just for the reveal, I too have the Giants.
So cover 2 TV, big on the Giants.
Yeah, man, it's mad.
Please, Laurie. I think they're outstanding defensively. I think they're absolutely outstanding. They are so loaded. They've got the pass rush, they've got the back end covered, they've got everything sorted. They were dominant last year against everyone. Eli doesn't have to do anything. He'll always do mad things because he'll Eli, because that's what he does. But provided Beckham's ankle, again, we're taping this without knowing the full extent of that. I think that's huge. Having said that, Dallas are without their best player for a few weeks at least, as we record. I think the Giants will win 10 games and win that division. And then I think...
What did the Cowboys finish last year? Was it like 12-4 or 13-3?
That's hard to do.
Yeah,
that's hard to do.
I think Cowboys losing Zeke for the first 6 weeks of the season. I think they're going to have too much of a hole to catch up. And I actually had this quite a load. I think it was like 9-7. I had the Giants winning it by. I just think they're all going to beat each other. And no team in this division stands out to me as a team that you should be scared of. But the Giants have that potential where they usually go on these little mad runs and then win the Super Bowl against the Patriots and then I cry.
It just happened a couple of times in fairness. The thing for me is with the Cowboys, I think, I've missed Zeke for those first few games and stuff, loads have been talked about. I feel like they are going to be in a really good position to take a wild card come the end of the season, and I think that him being fitter and fresher than the other running backs in the league at that time of the year makes them a very, very dangerous wild card, and that's why I've got them later on beating a very, very big side in it.
The only worry I've got with them as well, they're changing a lot of starters on the defensive side. I think it's like 7 or 8 starters aren't going to be there now, whether it be through injury or free agency or drafting or trades. And I think Rob Marinelli is one of the best defensive coordinators in the league, but that's a big change. You know, to lose that many starters and have that much going on different. Some of it might work out well. For example, I hope Jalen Smith's healthy and plays well, because I loved watching him at college. But you know, you lose your corners who weren't particularly great, but they were okay. You lose safeties, you lose a bit of pass rush. Everyone else is suspended. They've got tons of suspensions. I just think I'm with JENNO. I think they're going to struggle without Zeke. Even with Zeke, I think I had them struggling a little bit anyway. Yeah. And I think they're going to be in too much of a hole to get back to win the division. But I've got them, again, wild card. I've got Dallas as a wild card with Philadelphia pushing them really, really close.
Okay, no problem. What was your... you got anyone for a wild card entry from the East?
No, I haven't.
Okay, interesting, okay. So it's just the Giants going through from the East, and then we'll move on to the NFC West then, Steve. We've got the Cardinals, the Rams, the 49ers and the Seahawks.
Yeah, Seattle by a mile, I think. Again, I think Arizona are decent. I had Seattle, I had them getting the 2 seed. No spoilers, who I think is going to get the 1 seed. But I had Seattle getting, I think they'll be really, really good this year. I think they're going to, and we're going to talk MVP later, and I was considering Russell Wilson for that, and I might still consider him. But they're just amazed that they just win. They're just fucking brilliant at what they do. They just smash you to bits, run the ball down your throat. Russell Wilson makes his plays and stuff. They're just fantastic. And the only weakness is the line, and it is horrendous. I mean, I reckon if we turned up, we might get a game. It's that bad. It's horrendous, but they've got the quarterback and they've got the options to not so much cope with it, but you know, just about skate around it. Yeah. And I think they're going to be really good. And the rest of those teams are garbage. It's just, you know, the Rams and the Niners are not for me.
Yeah. Who did you have finishing bottom out of them?
Oh,
the Niners.
No, I had the Rams finishing. Yeah, I think Jared Goff's crap. And they've got, you know, Aaron Donald's hold now, so that situation. To be fair, it might have been a bit disrespectful to the Cardinals, who aren't garbage. They're a good team and they might push them, but I think when it worked out, I had Seattle at like 11-5, and the Arizona Cardinals were like 8-8, pushing for a wild card. I think Seattle are really good.
Okay, yourself?
No, see, I again with you, Seattle. I didn't even think I could have done this without having to predict the team. So without predicting the games, I think I knew Seattle was always going to win this division. Again, I also had the Cardinals just missing out on a wild card with that like kind of 8-8 looking team, and so I just think it's going to be Seattle. I don't think that does worry about with Seattle though is I'm not sure they are going to be able to run the ball this season. I don't think Eddie Lacy or Thomas Rawls really impressed me enough to say that they're going to destroy.
I don't think Lacy will be a Seahawk,
especially behind that line.
I don't think he'll be a Seahawk by Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's done. But and without the line to help him, he might struggle. Yeah. I like Rawls and I like Procise as well. Keep an eye on Procise. I think he's really good. Did you have Seattle, I presume, as well?
Yeah, I have 12-4.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. No wild cards.
No, absolutely fine.
I say Arizona might push them a little bit, but I don't think. Again, we speak a couple of weeks ago. We said we think their window might have shut.
Yeah,
and I think that's where we're at now. I think it's gone over the hill.
Okay, so we do the NFC North, vested interest in the North, of course. So, look, obviously it's Bears, Vikings, Packers, and Lions. No messing around there.
The richest player in the league now plays in that division.
Who is that?
Matthew Stafford. Just got all the money. Got all the money.
Yeah. He's not going to win the division. Who do you think is going to win the division?
The Vikings.
Really?
No. It's going to be the Packers.
I've been really excited for like a second.
No,
people will just see me die on the inside.
Yeah, it's going to be the Packers. I think the Packers are just going to dominate. When you got the best, well, the second best QB in the league, but clearly the best QB in the division, that guy usually tends to win the division.
It's not happened. I mean, you know, he's not got to a Super Bowl in a long time. He's been the second best quarterback in the league for a long time.
That shows that he needs to do more in the playoffs, and that's why he's not as good as Brady. But no, I just think they're well better. I think, don't forget how good Jordy Nelson was in the back end of last season. He's going to be fully healthy this season, and he's been borderline a top 5 receiver now for the last 5 years, but no one gives him credit because he's white. So then he has that where it's like he's deceptively fast. No, he's just fast. Like he's just as fast as anyone else.
He's great.
And then so the only problem
and he's fit.
Yeah. And the only problem I think the Packers have is I don't believe in Ty Montgomery as a running back. I think that's going to be a massive issue.
I think Williams will be in there before long. They're splitting carries as it is now. I mean, no surprise with Ryan Packers. The The worry is, the defensively secondary worries me especially. But I think the offense is going to be too good. I think it's better than it was last year. A healthier Jordy Nelson and improved tight end. And you saw when Jared Cook was on the field how amazing. Rodgers was borderline unstoppable. He was just like a magician. And now he's got a better one. And again, hopefully Marty Bennett can stay fit and healthy, because if he does, I just don't know how you stop Adams, Nelson, Bennett, a little bit of bit of Cobb as well. Obviously Rodgers throwing it to them, good line. I think you can almost nail the Packers on for 10 wins. Provided everyone stays fit, and then it's a case of like those closer games where they play Seattle or they play good teams, the Steelers. Can they get over the line? I had them 12-4, winning number 1 seed, which means the playoffs have got to go through Lambeau, which is encouraging for me as a fan, because that's a hard place to go and win in the playoffs, unless you're from New York again. they do it. Having said that, I've got the Vikings as a wild card, as my other wild card.
See, I haven't got them. I've got the third in the division. I've got the Lions. I think Stafford might actually do something this season.
That's just the defense.
And I've got them as a wild card.
That defense is horrendous. It might be the worst. It might be the worst side with the ball in the league. It's got no one.
Jets offense.
Oh yeah. in the NFC, I forgot the Jets existed. It's so bad. They got Darius Slay's a good player. He's a pretty good player, and he's their best player, and the rest of it is just like an absolute shitstorm of shit. Yeah. And I just think that I like Matthew Stafford. I think he's a good player. I think he's a good quarterback. I just don't know how they are gonna. They won loads of close games last year, which is fantastic, and it shows you've got a bit of bottle about you. But what are the odds of doing that again? They sneaked into the playoffs by 1 game, and they had to win like every single game in the fourth quarter. That I find it difficult mathematically to believe that would play out like that again. But I've got the Vikings in, and I don't know if you want to.
Like yourself.
Well, I looked at almost putting the Lions as a wild card, and then I just worked out and I dropped them back out, and I've took a bit of a gamble on who I went for wild cards. So I don't think they're coming from the north, and then I think the Vikings. I don't trust Sam Bradford. I've been quite open about this. I don't think you have the wide receivers to carry an offer. You've got this really good defense, but the offense isn't there. And then I don't think anyone's predicting the Bears to do anything. Yeah. I don't think anyone's even looking at them or cares.
Mine's the same with the Vikings. Really. I just don't. I do trust Bradford. I think he's a good quarterback. I know Steve does as well. I think when he's been given the tools, he can do the job. And I think it's much publicised. He comes in after an injury to Bridgewater and stuff last season. I think he does quite well. Doesn't get the wins that he needs to get. But this season, the defense is going to be good, but the offense can't move the ball, and that's why I'm a little bit down on the Vikings again, because it's just going to be the same as last season.
Yeah, I think if you think about when you look at the next division as well, the wild card race could be close, and I might change your mind, but I had the Vikings just because I think defensively they're really, really good, and I think they will move the ball with Dalvin Cook. And I had them going like 9-7 and just scraping into a wild card position, and I mean that shows what when I go to the NFC South and we misses out, I'm going to look like a fucking idiot when no one believes me, but I think that defense is special. I think the Vikings got a special defense, and it'll be enough to keep them in games. I don't think you go 5-0 for a reason. Last year, without injuries killed them after that. And absolutely terrified. It was just you can't win. You can't win with those injuries on the line. They've got improvements, not great players, but when you go from absolute garbage to average, below average, that's a significant jump. And I think with Phelan and with Diggs, Treadwell's going to be there, but you'd hope so, wouldn't you, this year? And I buy into Dalvin Cook. I think that you might win a lot of close 21-17 type games and just sneak in.
That'd be nice.
I've been good. Wait till you see who I've got missing out. Everyone's going to come.
South, anyone not think the Falcons are going to win it?
Yeah. I don't think they're going to win it.
I haven't got much a wild card.
I have picked the Panthers to win it, and that's where I'm going. But then at the same time, I've also got the Falcons and Tampa Bay as my 2 NFC wildcards. So I'm going 3 from the NFC South, so that's like a massive risk. But it does happen, and I actually believe that when I was looking at I think those teams are actually better than everyone else in the conference, and they would win any other division outside of maybe the NFC North.
Both good teams. I've gone Panthers, and the way it worked out at the end, I had Atlanta going 8-8 and just missing it. I've been back in Carolina also. Them and the Giants have been my team, my hotter teams. I don't know if you can call them below the radar, under the radar, because they're good sides. But I like what I see from offensively and defensively. And my issue with Atlanta, the offense is going to be fantastic, and the defense should get better. It really should. I think the Super Bowl hangover thing is a little bit overplayed. I don't buy Matt Ryan as much as other people do. I just don't. Yeah. If truth be told, and I think they'll be good. I think they'll be in the mix, but I just had them going 8-8 and losing by a game. Just because, again, this division's so tight. I think they'll, you know, New Orleans are a good side, and we haven't even talked about them yet. I had, again, them all taking games off each other, and it's just one of those where I'm backing Cam and Carolina's run game to get them there, where it's just, again, Atlanta had the season of their lives. And I've seen when a team has the season of their lives, because I've seen my team do it. It's hard to back that up the next year. It very rarely goes again and again. The only team who constantly do it are New England, who constantly just get 10. You can bank them in 12s. Even the Packers at stages have been 8 and 1.
Well, you used to have it with the Colts when Manning was there, you know what I mean? Yeah. They get 12 wins every season.
No one else does it.
It was down to the quarterback being there and stuff. And listen, don't underestimate how good the Colts were with just an offense as well, because they had no defense during those years every single time. But they just had Peyton, didn't they? And you get him as 12 wins.
I'm guessing you've got Atlanta.
I've got Atlanta, yeah. I do buy Matt Ryan. I've seen him grow up as a quarterback. I've seen him playing in that dome for so long now and understand that he wins his home games. And, you know, I just think that he's going to continue to win his home games. I think Atlanta are the best team in that division. I think the defence does improve. The offence is going to get better. It's already scary.
It's very scary.
So I can't see anything else. I think Panthers will be second for me. And I actually think the Saints will have a really good run as well. I think the one thing with the Saints that I need to see is how that three-headed running game works. Because before I can see that, I can't get them too high. I can't get too on them and stuff. But I like it on paper, and I think that, you know, for once we might actually be talking about a balanced Saints offense. But you have to see that in the regular season before you can make predictions on it.
7-9. They can't defensively. That's terrible. I'm interested on Tampa Bay.
I just look at that offense, and you're looking at it, and you got Evans, who just catches everything. Then you got the burner in Deshaun
Jackson.
You got the two tight ends who everyone's sleeping on. Cameron Tatum, he was great last season because they all think it's going to be the guy they drafted. OJ Howard is going to be essentially, but the guy they drafted last season.
It's going to be Cameron Brate.
He caught, was it like 8 touchdowns last season?
Yeah.
So, and in the defense, I mean, I really love Jerry McCoy. Love the way he plays football. The cornerbacks are good. I think Jameis is a leader. That team really does seem to follow Jameis. So as long as he can try and cut down on the stupid decisions, I think they can go get in the players with like a 10-6 record.
And
that's what I think they're going to do.
You must have had all the other divisions being absolute garbage because you've got 3 10-6 teams or something.
Well, no, I think it was 2. I think they both got 9-7, both tiebreakers got them in, but you know.
Okay, so we move on to the wild cards and divisional playoffs. We'll start with the AFC. JENNO, who have you got in the wild card one versus Division 4, 4th division winner, sorry?
I have got Houston versus the LA Chargers.
And who have you got going through?
I've got the LA Chargers beating Houston.
Okay, no problem. And then in the other one, the 3rd seed versus 6th.
I've got Oakland versus Tennessee. I've got Oakland winning that.
Okay, no problem. So we may as well continue on with yours. Actually, it makes more sense. So who have you got facing the Patriots?
So that is the Chargers facing the Patriots.
And who have you got winning?
Though I said the other week Chargers scare me more than anyone else, I still got the Patriots winning.
Of course you have. And in the other one, who's facing the Steelers?
It's the Raiders versus the Steelers, which is a great little classic matchup, and I've got the Steelers winning that.
Okay, so Pat Steelers.
And then Patriots always beat the Steelers. It's just a rule of life.
Okay, and yourself, Steve?
So I've got Chargers Dolphins with the Chargers winning. I've got Titans Raiders 4v5 with the Titans winning. That one I think Titans beat. That's where the Titans knocked the Raiders out. And obviously 1v4 ends up being Pats v Titans. 2v3 is Chargers v Steelers. I've got the Patriots and the Steelers going through again, but I've got the Steelers going into Foxborough and finally winning.
Okay, I've got exactly the same as you, Steve. I've got the Steelers beating out the Patriots, but I've got it Titans v Texans, Titans to win. Raiders v Broncos, Broncos to win. Broncos, Steelers, Steelers to win. Titans, Pats, Pats to win. Steelers to beat the Patriots.
Can I just say something? You're woman accused me of being like really high on Tennessee. You both have them going further than I do.
Yeah, we have. I like that, yeah. It's just the way it works out.
Isn't it? When you've only seen it and stuff, it's who they've pit up against, isn't it? So, okay, well, 2 Steelers to 1 Patriots. I think, look, ultimately, sitting here right now, I think it's pretty obvious. to everybody that the Steelers versus the Patriots is the championship game over in the AFC. Like, if it's played on paper, it's not. We've got a lot of football to be played between now and then, but it is a prediction show. It is before the season starts, and that's our prediction for the AFC. So we'll move on to the NFC. Do you want to talk us through your entire round?
Alright, so for the NFC, I've got the New York Giants will play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I've got the Giants winning that one. Then I've got Carolina playing Atlanta in the wildcard weekend, which will be a fun one. I've got Carolina coming through there. Then it's Carolina versus the Seahawks, Giants versus the Green Bay. And I almost taught myself into Giants making a Super Bowl run then, I'm not going to lie. And said it with such fear as I was saying it. But no, I'm going to say that Seahawks versus Green Bay, and then Green Bay win. And it's going to be the Patriots-Green Bay Super Bowl that we all want. We all want Brady versus Rodgers in the Super Bowl.
I don't want that. I could care less for that, to be honest.
We're still having a good time.
I was sitting there going, oh, when's Bridgewater going to start playing football again? Like, so I go on, Steve. You go with yours, mate.
Okay, so Giants, Vikings and Panthers, Cowboys. I've got the Giants and the Cowboys advancing actually, so a little bit of a wild card upset with the Cowboys getting through. So that means the Packers get to host the Cowboys and the Giants go to Seattle. I've got the Packers beating the Cowboys at Lambeau, but I've got the Giants going up to Seattle and pulling off the upset up in Seattle. I think I've got them doing the Eli playoff run. And then I've got them turning up at Lambeau and losing.
Okay, so JENNO's gone for the Patriots, you've gone for the Packers to win the Super Bowl. I'd like to say that I'd be the voice of reason here, but I'm not. So I will go, I've got Cowboys-Packers in my first game, and I've gone the Cowboys to advance on this one. I've got Giants-Lions, and I've got Giants to advance. Cowboys play the Falcons beat them out. Seahawks play the Giants, the Seahawks beat them out. And then on home field advantage, I give it to the Falcons over the Seahawks.
So you've got a Falcons-Steelers Super Bowl.
I've got a Falcons-Steelers Super Bowl. And here's the thing, if the 1 and 2 seeds were the other way around, I'd give it to the Seahawks over the Falcons. But because it is home field advantage, I've given it to the Falcons over the Seahawks. Listen, it's never playing out like that. I've never got one of these things right. I've been doing them for about 5 or 6 years now. But it's fun to do regardless.
Okay, then so the next question, I suppose, is who's your winner?
Well, my winner's the Patriots. I mean, is anyone ever surprised by that?
Mine's the Packers.
I've got the Steelers because I hate both of your teams.
That would be harsh on the Falcons to go back-to-back Super Bowl losses.
It happens to the Bills, it can happen to the fucking...
Poor Atlanta fans. I mean, they don't need that in their lives, do they? They'd rather get beat. They'd rather my situation where they don't even get there than have another one of those. Call it homerism, call it what you like, but I just... the way it worked out, I was never planning, I was never thinking I'm going to work back from the Packers. Mine was, once I had them getting home field advantage, once I had them winning the 1 seed, I imagine if Seattle would have been the 1 seed, I'd have had them getting there. I think the home field advantage in the NFC for those two teams is massive. Yeah, no one wants to go to Seattle and no one wants to go to Green Bay. And you could probably say the same about maybe Atlanta as well, and even New Orleans at times, their home field is pretty good, but I just, the way it worked out, I couldn't see someone winning in Lambeau.
See, the way it worked out for me is when it's a close game and I'm not sure who goes to win, I just go with whoever's got the best quarterback. And that's how you end up with the Patriots versus the Packers, because that tends to be the way I just lead.
They're 3 good Super Bowls that we've all predicted though. I just had the Packers beating the Steelers again. Reminiscent. Rodgers gets a second ring by beating the Steelers.
Well, I'll tell you what then, let's go for the MVP first and foremost then. I don't need to ask. So it's Rodgers, it's Brady, right?
Yeah.
I've gone Brady as well, but I've got the Steelers to beat them because I think he's going to have a tremendous regular season. I think with the additions of like Cook and stuff like that, you are going to see the Brady that we used to see when he had Randy Moss at his disposal. Well, and I think he's easily in line for an MVP because of that.
We have just lost Julian Edelman for the year, and I'm still not totally over that because I love Julian Edelman, and he's the one who makes our offense tick.
Danny Amendola, 55 catches.
Amendola can't.
It's Brady.
No, Amendola.
Amendola makes your offense tick. I've been watching them a while, like.
But trust me, I say Amendola can't do the Edelman role because he can't take 55 catches because you're breaking to 3 pieces. So it's going to be Austin Carr, the undrafted free agent.
You'll get it in there. The way it worked out, I've got Rodgers on that offense, just having a storming year again, and he's the best, to watch. He's amazing. I think he's fantastic. I don't think he's as efficient as Tom Brady, which is why a lot of people say he's above, and it's hard to disagree, with that. But I think Rodgers is the most talented quarterback I've ever seen in terms of what he can do. Yeah. It's just it's the mental side of the game, and I think he's going to have an absolute storming year with the options he's got. Keep an eye on Russell Wilson as well. I think other than Brady, I think keep an eye on Russell Wilson. I think he's going to be thereabouts. I think he's going to have a really good year as well.
Okay, defensive player of the year thing.
I've gone for Joey Bosa. I think he's absolutely special. I think he's amazing. Actually, there's so many good players. It tends to go to a pass rusher, doesn't it? Really, you know, corners. It's hard for corners unless they get like 55 gazillion interceptions. People tend to vote pass rushers, and I think on that line with a full season under his belt, I think he's going to double digit sacks easily. He could be pushing like up towards 15, and he's special. It hasn't taken me long to be all in on Joey Bosa. I think I've never seen the step and the get off and his lateral quickness to get round guys is just unbelievable. And Khalil Mack won it last year, and Khalil Mack didn't get that many sacks. Actually, he got a bit. He gets loads of pressures, and I think Joey Bosa's getting to a stage where he's borderline unblockable. So I've gone for him.
See, very similarly, but I went for Jadeveon Clowney because I just think JJ Watt's going to command so much attention. That's going to free Clowney up, and as well, Whitney Merciless is there as well. Clowney's end up going to go get about 15 plus sacks this season. And I think that's what's going to make the Texans play off him because I don't believe in the offense. But I think he's going to be a sensation, and he's going to be like the reason why they picked him first is why we're going to see it.
Yeah. Okay, I could agree with both of them, to be honest, but I'm not going to. I have gone for 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, JJ Watt. I think it's an easy shout. I think he always has commanded loads of attention. He's always broken through it. I expect him to do exactly the same, having nearly a year off.
Just a quick one. I know you listen to the Peter King podcast like I do. He was interviewing Bill O'Brien, the Texans head coach, and he said they have to take JJ Watt out of practice because they can't stop him, so he ruins practice. Because the offense can't get nothing done. Yeah. So they have to give him his reps and let him get his work done, and then literally go and tell him to sit down because he just ruins the quarterback can't get the ball away. I mean, their offensive line isn't the best anyway, but he's literally ruining their practice for me. Is that good?
But he is.
He's ridiculous. I mean, listen, that wouldn't be a surprise.
He's so far removed from every other defensive player. I think
he's the best. When I worry about maybe a slow start with the back injury, and back injuries scare me for big fellas. Yeah. That's the only reason I haven't picked him, because he's the best. He is the best player in the league, I think, defensively when he's 100%. But I just don't know. I'm not banking just yet. So I suppose I'll ask you then. Offensive player, you might as well go first.
I've given it to Brady. I think he did it last year when they did it Ryan and offensive player of the year and MVP and stuff, and I think they will just give it to Brady as well. Outside shout, I've gone JJ. JJ, yeah, I've got, just because I think he's going to lead the league in rushing. I think that's what they're going to ask him to do. I don't think Adam Gase is going to ask Jay Cutler to throw it as much as he can, and I think he will get the yardage. It's an outside shout, and listen, it's a bit of a punt, but I think they won't give it to Rodgers because I think they'll try and separate it. They'll try and reward a running back if they can, and I've got him and Jordan Howard getting tons and tons of yards, but Jordan Howard's going to be on a crap team. Where if I had JJ taking his team to the playoffs, so rewarding him.
That's simply why I didn't go for Donald as my defensive player of the year, as well as his holdout. But for my offensive player of the year, I've gone Le'Veon Bell. I just think he's everything for what the Steelers are going to do, and I do think Steelers are going to have a really good dominating season. So I just think Le'Veon Bell will, because he just gets 200 yards a game for nothing. It's just mad.
He's unbelievable.
David Johnson's a shout as well.
Yeah, he is, but I think the Bell thing is we've all got them getting to the championship game.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a good year for him, isn't it? I think everybody knows that from where we are. Like, to be honest, if I wasn't gonna go Brady again, I would have gone for someone like Bell.
Yeah. It's just, we can't argue with it. He's a wonderful player.
So there we go then. That's our prediction show. Leave us yours in the comment section below. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to Cover 2 TV on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and all that jazz. And if you wouldn't mind, give the video a like.